Okay, so quite a few people have asked if I can, and when I say quite a few, I mean like heaps, have asked if I can post my recipe for my Cheats sourdough bread, which is like my next level, like sourdough that's not actually sourdough. So I thought I'd make a video. This is it. Enjoy. Okay, so this is the starter section of this whole process of this video, and you can do this one of two ways. You can either do it the slow way or the fast way. So the slow way is where you let it ferment slowly overnight in the fridge, so it kind of takes its time. The yeast is, because it's cold, it takes its time to come up. The other way is to do it quickly, because if you're in a rush and you want to get it done, that's where you just chuck it into like a a Pyrex container or a bowl or something like that, and you just let it ferment slowly, covered like in your pantry or something like that. I find that doesn't work as well in terms of the flavour. If you let it slowly happen overnight and you've got patience, it will taste way better. Okay, so we'll go through the ingredients first and then I'll tell you what you need to do. All right, you've got some dried yeast, just normal yeast. So we're going to cheat this. This is why it's called a sourdough cheats starter thingy bajiggy, okay? So you got your yeast. Then you've got some rye flour. You're going to use a little bit of that. You're going to use about a tablespoon of that. We're going to use a tablespoon, basically of all the flours you can use a tablespoon. You've got rye, wholemeal, and then you've got some white over here. We're going to use around about a tablespoon-ish of yogurt, natural yogurt. Helena made that, my wife made that. And then we're going to use roughly 100 to 150 mils of beer. So this is a 8-wide Tropidelic Pale Ale. I get to drink the rest. Really pinchy yogurt. I'm going to take a tablespoon of that, and it goes to the beer. Not quite a tablespoon of the rye flour, and dump that in. And around about a kind of lumped tablespoon of wholemeal, a tablespoon of the white flour. Then I'm gonna whisk it all together. Then what I'll do is I'll just get a packet of active dry yeast and chuck it in. And then whisk that in. Now some people say, you shouldn't whisk the yeast. And I say, well, I find it helps it mix it through better. And also to that I say, don't tell me what to do. Okay, so the next day you're going to get your starter out of the fridge, add 300 mils of water to it, and then get your dry ingredients ready. Okay, so there's no kneading with this method, it's just folding. So every 30 minutes for 3 hours, you do 4 folds, north, south, east, and west, which it doesn't really matter, how you do it, as long as you do the 4 folds and every part of the dough gets folded. Then it goes into one of these banneton things, or like if you haven't got a banneton, you can just use a bowl with a tea towel. So before it goes into the banneton, you do the lightly shaping it and lightly working the dough, very lightly with a little bit of flour. So you see, I'm not putting tons of flour on it there. And then so just squeezing and rolling and scrape. I don't know what the method's called, but you're basically just kind of slightly, very lightly shaping it. And then you pick it up when you finish all your shaping and you flop it into your bowl or your banneton or whatever you've got. And that you need to make sure that that's floured so it doesn't stick. Chuck the excess flour on top, go on there. And then that just goes into a bag, plastic bag, and then in the fridge to prove overnight, minimum 12 hours. Job done. Okay, so the next day, get your approved dough out of the fridge. And in order to cook this loaf or bake this loaf, you'll need a Dutch oven. Crank your oven all the way up to its highest setting, and then put the Dutch oven inside to heat up for 45 minutes. While that's happening, get a piece of baking paper and tip the approved loaf out, and then create some kind of pattern if you like. I use a piece of string and a craft knife to make patterns. Really nice patterns. When the Dutch oven is heated up, take the lid off and throw a tablespoon of water in to basically mimic a commercial baking oven with lots of steam. Then get the piece of baking paper with the dough on it and throw it in. Put the lid on and then chuck the Dutch oven inside your oven. And then let that bake for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, take the lid off and then bake for a further 10 minutes to make the loaf all crusty and crunchy. And after that 10 minutes, bang, that's it. You've got yourself a mean-ass gangster sourdough cheese loaf. Cut a piece off, put some butter on it, and whack it in your gob. Okay, that's it. Easy. So make your own, give it a shot, and send me a picture of it. Let me know if it's awesome. Sweet. Later.